Hey guys, I wanted to give you a little update, an early update on the corn soybean plot. You can kind of see the green tinge that's coming in. That's corn and soybean mix. So what I did here is I put down about 25 pounds of beans and 25 pounds of corn, and I wanted to see how that mix did as a ratio. And let me kind of find an area that looks decent. Okay, so here's some bean plants. Bean, bean, bean there. And then we got corn, corn, more corn. And I would say, I'm gonna say 3 or 4 corn plants per square foot and probably equal amount of bean plants. So that's looking pretty good. So I guess, overall I would say this looks actually pretty good. The soil's got a little moisture down below. It's a little dry on top. It's windy today. It's really drying out. We're gonna have hot, humid conditions, but you can see this tinge. It seems to be working. I would say I got enough corn growing to make a difference, I would say. And now I'm probably gonna get some nitrogen on this at some point. I'm gonna have to broadcast it. I'm gonna try to do it right before rain to get that to take up, but it looks good so far. So this is a 50-50, about 25 pounds of beans, 25 pounds of corn, I think is what I put on here roughly. And kind of eyeballed it and basically just looked for the spread of how much seed was on the ground and kind of, eyeballed a little bit, but it came out to be about 25-25, and that's what it looks like. So I'll give you guys an update in a few weeks after it gets a little taller, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, here's a rye and soybean field that I planted. I have white clover going in here, and man, that's looking pretty good. That's looking real good, actually. This is almost ready to terminate. I'm about ready to come in here, but these rye plants aren't quite ready to be terminated, in my opinion. But this white clover is looking really good, and things are starting to get a little dry in here at Indian Creek. So I'm surprised it's doing that well, but it's obviously being sheltered by this rye. So I had come up here thinking that maybe I was going to terminate this, but I don't think it's quite ready. I'm going to wait another week because I really want to get these into what's, the dough stage, and these seed heads are just forming. My only question is, will I have enough growing time for the green cover crop mix that I'm going to put in here, because we're having some kind of run of dry weather here, and I need some rain on it to germinate. But probably next week I'm coming back, and I might even do it this week. We'll see. I got to make a decision, but I got enough biomass here that I could probably lay it down. My only concern is, do I have enough moisture to get it germinating? But man, this clover looks good. I'm sure these deer are in here. I got to get a camera out here and see if they're showing up, but it looks really good. There's also enough dirt down here, I'm going to show you that in a second, to actually get some germination. So let me show you down between the plants. So this is what I got when you get down in these plants. I got a lot of space like this. Plenty of room to get some seed to soil contact. And once I lay these plants down like that, I think I'm going to cover that soil up. I almost think that I could have put more rye in here, if anything. It could have been heavier, and I put it down at about 200 pounds per acre. One question that I had is, how much rye do I need here? And this is 200 pounds per acre. Let me pull one of these plants up. Watch these roots, come on. Oh yeah. So there's the roots on that, looking really good, holding my soil intact. This is the first year doing this rye experiment, so next year maybe I'll have some more roots and I'll do a little better soil conditioning, get those exudates working and that microfungi. I'm still not seeing a lot of worms on my farm, but it's the first year, so we shall see. But cover crop's coming next. Do I do it now or do I wait, guys? What do you think? All right, so now I'm going to take you into my timber, and I did a little micro hinge cut in here. It's this little artifact from back in the day. Used to be a farm here. I don't know what that was. A little cook pot back in the woods. What I did here was a little micro hinge cut. I just basically took down every tree, or I hinged it, and or I girdled it. And my goal was to make just an opening in the woods, start to get some browse going, and you can see it right here. And I just basically did a little micro hinge cut, a little micro clear cut, I guess. Hopefully just to thicken it up. And on the opposite side of this hinge over here, I've got a tree stand up, and then I got a field that they'll destination food plot. So my hopes that they'll kind of skirt the edge of this, not go through here. They'll go around it. So that's the goal. But you know, this is early. You can see they were in here eating the buds here. They've been nipping off any of the new growth here. You know, that's the first year. It'll thicken up over time. I'll actually probably come in here and take down a few more, because as I look up here, I still see, actually, it's amazing how much overstory you have. You think you get it all, but you don't really open it up as much as you think. So probably come back in here and open this up, make it really thick, make them work their way around it on their way to the food plot, to my stand in the water hole that's right over there. You know, we talk about our successes and our failures, and let me show you one of mine. So I think this is an ash tree, and you can see how I girdled it, but I don't think I went deep enough, because as I look up, there's still a lot of foliage up there. It did not kill this tree, and I see that a few places. Here's another one. This is a white oak that I hinged, and if you look up there, it's growing. It still looks good. So lesson learned. I thought I went deep enough in here, but I didn't, and I just wanted to try this out, and maybe I'll just drop this tree, because I'm trying to get things to thicken up in here. But I tried my girdling. So far, I don't see a tree that I killed. Live and learn, I guess. So this is my hinge, and the trail leads around to my water hole right here. I put in here last year. Good to see that it has water in it. And then right up in that tree right there is my stand, and on the back side right here is the destination food plot. So the idea is to get these deer to come around, visit the watering hole, and set myself up for about a 25-yard shot. So that's the idea. Looks like I got some frogs living in my got some frogs living in there. Hopefully the deer are drinking out of it. I'd show you this spot. So that's my cabin, and that dead area right there is some of that plot screen, actually concealed from Whitetail Institute. But then I've got this little brassica plot that I'm spraying. Over there is that water hole that I thought that I showed you. My idea is I'm going to bring them out of here. They're going to funnel through here. There's the plot screen that comes around. It comes down through here, and I'm going to screen the edge of this field. This is corn and soybeans, and I'm going to do is I'm going to mow a path right through here that they can come out. So they'll have brassicas behind me, corn, soybeans in front of me, a plot screen that comes up, others that come up this way and stops. And I'm going to put a stand right up in there, and I'm going to take out a few of those trees right there. I'm going to leave these here, so anything that comes out of this brassica field won't see me up there until they get to here, where they come through this entrance I'm going to make to feed in these soybeans. And that's when they're going to get skewered. At least that's the plan. I want to show you this is a cover crop field. All I did here was I had corn in it last year, and I just did not want to till this up hard. I did come over the top of it with my disc and just kind of roll across the top, just to get enough scarred up soil to get some good seed to soil contact. And then I broadcast at about 60 pounds per acre the green cover seed blend called Summer Release. I'm going to show you that because you can see the tinge that's starting to happen. That green tinge is the cover crop. 14 different plants all blended together into a cover crop.